And here we have something in the back of my car. I just collected it, and this has just been returned from SSS in Bingley in Yorkshire, and it's my ZRX 1200 swing arm. It's been powder coated for the Z, and very nice it looks too. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It was silver of course, but I've gone for black to match the frame whenever that gets done. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So now let me put this in the garage, and I think what I'll do is I'll just very quickly put the rear wheel in place and the brakes and so on, just so I can see how it all looks together. And here it is, quick mock-up. Put the rear wheel in, rear axle, brake and torque arm. So next I'm going to have to think about what colour to paint these spokes, because I'm not leaving them like this, and I'm certainly not going to polish them. That's far too much work. And at the moment I'm thinking of going for black, perhaps satin black, just here. We'll leave the rims polished of course. So yeah, satin black, or maybe even gold to match the Brembo, but so far I've not yet decided. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. What's next? Oh yes, one thing I've got to be careful about is that so far I've got no wheel spacers in here, and so the wheel can slide from side to side, which is not good, because it means if I'm not careful it could gouge out the paint on this side where the sprocket is, so I can't really move it around very much. Got to be careful there. And now we need to borrow Barney's rug for a little while, because here we have the fully polished spacer for the clutch cover, all polished up nicely now, and next to it we have the equally polished up clutch cover itself, and that took quite a lot of work, but it's done now. And now I'm going to go to see Les at his workshop today, and we'll see how that looks on the engine, and that's what's next. Right, so here we are, Les, back in your workshop. We've just bolted very quickly that new clutch cover on the engine, and very nice it looks too.
Very nice. Still
got to fit the points cover. That's now been polished actually. I forgot all about that, so that'll be on in the next few days.
Okay.
On the other side we've got the alternator cover. That's a standard piece, but it's been polished right now. It's a bit damaged and a bit scratched, so that's taking a bit more time.
Right.
And then on the behind the alternator cover we've got the sprocket cover,
outrigger, which
of course for us is the outrigger.
Yeah.
With the hydraulic clutch conversion, which I've also now decided to polish as well. So that's being polished as we speak.
Brilliant. Right.
So another reason I'm here is to talk about rebore and the head.
Yes.
So I believe the other day you took a long trip to Leeds.
Yeah.
With my head to go and see a nice man called
Roger Upton.
And he's the man we go and see when it comes to Kawasaki heads.
He is the cylinder head guru.
Yes. So he's doing whatever is required.
Yes.
Recutting the valve seats.
Supplying new valves.
New valve seals. Yes, seats.
No, not the seals. He's just doing the valve guides, and cutting the seats and supplying the valves.
Yeah. Okay. And when all that's done, it can then go back on the engine. Except it can't, because we've still got to do something about the barrels, the pistons.
Yeah.
Because for people who haven't seen it, we managed to damage one of the oil rings, was it?
Oil scraper rings, yeah.
And it turns out these pistons I had are a really odd size, and you just can't get spares for them.
They were 73.5 millimetre, oversized Kawasaki
by
pistons.
1 millimetre, yeah.
You're 1 mil oversized, yeah.
And the one place we could find in Germany, just the rings were like 200 and something pounds.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So rather than doing that, then we said, right, okay, we'll go bigger. We'll get some brand new pistons and rings. But then it turns out that 73.5 mil, which is what I've done the barrel for, is quite an unusual size.
It's 1120.
Yeah, it's an unusual size.
1120.
And the vast majority of big bore Kawasakis aren't that size, a bit bigger. They're 1170.
The biggest you can go to on these blocks is 1170.
That's right.
That's what most people did.
Yeah.
But you can get 1 mil smaller, which is 1135.
Yeah.
They're the two common
So the question is there any reason for us not to go to 1170 rather than 1135?
No. It's just that it makes the liner
thinner.
Thinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it won't break. I mean,
I think
the
issue is people on 1170 motors.
If then I damage the liner, it means I've got to start again. But I don't intend damaging the liner.
No, it'll run for a long time.
So therefore, I think we've come to the conclusion that I need to get that barrel rebored out to 75 mil from 3.5.
Well, I wasn't sure whether you wanted to go just to 74 or go whole hog to 75.
We'll go whole hog. There's no point faffing about.
No.
And we'll get a piston kit, rings, and so on for 1170.
Yeah.
Which I believe Roger may have.
Roger might have. He did tell me he sold a lot of 1170 piston kits back in the day.
Yes.
Whether he's got any left in stock, he doesn't know until he checks.
If not, when I've actually checked online, there are a few places that do have them.
1170 are the most common size.
Whereas nobody has 1135.
No.
Nobody.
Well, it was 1120 that you couldn't get.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah. So unfortunately, the sort of size I had wasn't a very sensible size to use anyway, but we'll sort that out. So then, I'm not sure when the head's going to come back. Did you have any idea from
He said a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we can go ahead and get... Now, I would imagine we can take the block back to where I got it done in the first place, which is my position.
Yeah, you can take it them, or there's a place on Woolston Grange just 2 mile away from here.
I'll take it to Mike, because hopefully I'd say, look, please be careful when you clamp it down.
That's the difficulty.
Not to scratch me bloody finish.
Once you've done the refinishing on the barrel.
Yes.
It's clamping it in the machine to bore
well,
it.
Supposedly, we'll soon find out how tough that is, because it's supposed to be rock hard, so we'll see.
Yeah.
If it gets... well, anyway. If not, I'll just have to paint it again. I don't know. I'm not going to go back and have it redone.
No,
it's going to be too
you can always touch it in with some heat-resistant gloss black.
Right. Okay,
and
so
you'll never tell.
Apart from that, I just mentioned then, I also need for that a second gasket, because it's now got a spacer plate.
Yeah, I've just got it hung while you're filming. I'll take these 2 screws out because it's hanging on the.
Yeah, don't leave it too much.
Show how it's made.
Yes.
Been made. So you've got the main cover and which is this in my hand here, and this spacer plate.
Yes, which was an accident really. We didn't want to do that.
Yeah, so obviously you need a gasket between that and the crankcase,
and also one between.
And then obviously one between the 2 covers.
Now, in terms of that, because that's been built in 3 sections.
Yeah.
You got the plate, you got the barrel bit, and you got the top cap.
This end cover.
Yes, they all need to be RTB together. You know, I mean, Jeff was going on about when he made it. Well, perhaps you want to take it apart. I said, no, I don't. Just keep it in one piece. I don't want to take it apart.
Right.
So it can be RTB'd and it's done for good then.
So basically, what RTB between this plate and this ring,
and then also
this outer cover.
Yes, yeah.
And that's been made so if you fit a lock-up clutch, you can get to adjust it.
That's correct. Yes, I'm not sure we'll be fitting lock-up clutch, but you never know. You never know. I have got an idea. I don't
think you'll need it on a standard motor.
No. Well, something I've not mentioned yet is I might build another Kawasaki Z next year.
Right.
A bigger Kawasaki Z, which might well need lock-up clutch. But that's a different story. That's a top secret project.
Okay.
Depending on how money goes, how much it's going to cost and whatever. How much money I waste on other projects. But anyway. No, I've told myself I've got to finish all my current projects before I start a new one.
I keep telling myself that.
Yeah, but I've run out of space. You're fine. You've got a massive big garage with this. Look at this.
Full of customers' bikes next door.
I know. Next door you got. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't get 7 bikes in my garage.
8 if you include the bike on that's there and over there.
Oh yeah. That's a Kawasaki, isn't it? It's a Kawasaki triple.
Plus all push bikes.
Oh yes. Yeah. We mustn't forget them. Choppers.
Yeah, 2 there and 1 there. I've just had that powder coated.
Powder coated red, yeah.
Pick the forks up on my way back from dropping your cylinder head
there you go, look.
So they can go in
cool.
soon.
Cool, so yeah. Yeah, it's a long time ago. I had a brand new one for Christmas.
I'm going for like 1,200 quid restored, them things.
Mine was £30 brand new in 1969.
Ah, you had a Mark 1.
I had a Mark 1.
Yeah,
they were actually quite rare back then. It was quite rare back then.
Yeah.
And the frame snapped in half about 4 years later. It rusted through. I used it everywhere. Just used it. And in fact, this is not for the internet. 'Cause nobody will know what I'm talking about now. But there's the swing bridge near you.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going over there from Walton Gardens, coming home once with some mates.
Yes.
It's quite bumpy there. Went over it, bum. It snapped the frame, and I wasn't fat or anything. It just rusted through. So that was the end of the chopper.
I had a pair of handlebars snap.
Yeah.
Off the headstock.
Yes. Oh God.
As I was going down a steep hill.
Yeah.
And I managed to use the brakes because the cables were still connected. I managed to use the brakes to stop the bike whilst trying to balance it, and luckily I didn't fall off.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Those were the days. Those were the olden days, and it was the olden days. That was '69. That for me.
Oh right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So apart from that, then I think we've just got to wait now.
Yes, it's a waiting game now.
Waiting game now.
Yeah.
I've still got, as I say, got to do some more polishing. In fact, Jeff's doing the polishing because I can't be bothered. And we'll bring that along when they're ready. I've also asked him to do the outrigger stuff. That's all going to be polished. And also, I'll tell you what we need. A rear sprocket. drive sprocket.
Yeah, dished one.
An offset one, yeah. So
which
I get that.
ZZR 1100s fit these.
Okay, so that's what we need. Anyway.
Which is a 530, which you're going for. You're going for, isn't it?
Yeah. So need to get that sorted out, get everything lined up.
Yeah, a lot of people do use that type of sprocket.
Because now, as you know, you brought me back the swing arm.
Yes.
So I put the rear wheel in, put everything in, and there's about 5mm movement side to side. There's not a lot of room for spaces.
Yeah.
So you can't really, you know, offset the wheel very much.
Oh, it needs the space of making.
Yes.
Because it's a slightly wider wheel.
Oh yeah. So it needs some space of making up, but you can't really move it very far.
Well, you've got to centralise the wheel.
Oh yes,
in the swinging arm, and then work out your sprocket alignment.
Yes, that's right. But the good news is the swing arm itself has been machined down. I think you did it, or you had it done. You machined down the front, where it's
to match this 1000 frame.
Yes, to match that there, and so it means I've now got to make some spaces to fit the now widened frame of mine.
Yes.
But it gives you a little bit of leeway to move the swing arm slightly from side to side.
You can move it side to side to get it central.
Yeah. So because I mean mine's black, but in your case you've had it powder coated in metallic silver.
Metallic silver, yeah.
Yeah, I want to go for all black for me. Yes, that's good. And anything else of interest? You've got a couple of nice bikes out next door actually, which I might just look at very quickly.
You can do.
Okay, we'll do that. Right, so now we're in your workshop, your second workshop, Les, and it's full of mainly Kawasaki's and old Yamaha stuff.
And a Norton.
And a Norton in the background, which we've seen before over there. So we've got the Kawasaki Z650 in the corner.
Yeah.
And you were saying you're waiting on some instruments, and some did come up, original NOS stock.
New old stock, yeah.
But
brand new.
But the only problem with it is
nearly £1,000.
£1,000. And you think, well, if it was a really expensive bike you would, but I'm not sure, you know, that is...
But the Speedo assembly that's damaged can be repaired, it's just a matter of finding
trying to find somebody. Yeah. I think you had somebody in mind, but they couldn't do it.
No, we've tried 2 or 3 people now and they say no.
And then we've got the GPZ
9R, which I've not started yet.
No. So that's got to be done. This has come back in again.
This has just come back today for some more work.
Yamaha RD400.
He's over the moon with it. He said it's never run so well since I last worked on it.
Yeah, and he's just brought it along now for some more electrical work.
Yeah, more little bits and pieces.
Except there's a small problem because he forgot to bring his keys.
He's just dropped it off half an hour ago and didn't bring his keys.
Right, and since it's electrical work, you need the keys.
So he's just gone back to Liverpool.
Oh God, Liverpool.
And then back here again with his keys.
That's a long way, isn't it? 20 miles away.
Well, it's a 40-mile round trip, isn't it?
Yeah, and then something close to my heart. I don't like 2-strokes. Is we come over here, a proper motorbike.
That's a very nice one.
Kawasaki Z900. Is that an A4?
Z900 A4, correct?
Yeah, very minty condition.
Yeah.
And I believe you've done some more work on that a while ago, didn't you? It's come back.
I had new forks. I've rebuilt the forks. Yeah. Brakes on the front. New tyre.
Yeah.
And then he brought it to me. Well, he was going to bring it to me, ride it to me to do the rear tyre.
Yeah.
But then the bike started running badly. So I had to go and pick it up in my van and bring it back here. So I've done all the work on the rear end. I've done the alternator wiring, which I found a fault with, which is probably why it was running rough, because I think it wasn't charging.
Right.
And when I checked the ignition timing, it was a country mile out.
Right. So
it was even firing after top dead centre.
Oh dear, that's not good, is it?
On 2 cylinders. So it runs sweet now.
Yeah, but he's going to come and pick it up at some point.
It's just waiting to be collected now, that one.
Yeah, I must say I do like them. And compared to a Z1, they're actually quite good value. Say good value compared to a Z1, which is like...
These are reaching sort of...
Oh, they're getting expensive, but not quite.
These are getting up towards 20 grand now.
But not as much as I mean, Z1s is ridiculous.
They're heading towards 30 grand.
Yeah.
29, 30 grand.
If I was going to get one, I'd get a Z1R, but that's a different story.
I love Z1Rs.
Yeah, I had one for a brief time. Very brief time.
The crappy front brake.
Well, back then they seemed alright to me. Back then they were like, well, this is okay, you know. But yeah, I didn't have it long.
They didn't wobble if you took the fairing off.
Yeah. I mean, but back then they all wobbled, didn't they? Everything wobbled.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So I'm not here for that, but never mind. I thought it's good. Good few minutes just to look at all these rather nice bikes here. Yeah. With an old Norton as well in the corner, waiting to be collected by its very elderly owner, I believe.
Well. Yeah.
At some point. Is he about 80 now, I think, or something?
I've done the bike for Matt.
Yeah.
It's his dad's bike.
Yes, we've seen it before, yeah.
Matt's my age, our age.
Yes. A young man, isn't it? A very young man.
Yeah. His dad's 81.
Yeah. Good. And there it is there. So it's all sorted now, is it? It's all ready to rock?
There's an issue with the... when I restored it, the only thing I didn't renovate was the gearbox. Because he assured me that someone else had looked at it and it was fine.
But
flushed the gearbox several times because there was muck in it and sediment, and put fresh oil in, and it's leaking out of the kickstart shaft seal, which is why there's a newspaper underneath.
Right, so it needs a new seal in there.
And I rode it for the first time several weeks ago, and the return spring on the gear change is a little bit weak.
Oh yes, a bit tight. Yeah, it doesn't spring back. Yeah.
So it needs a new spring.
Right. Okay.
So those two issues really, and that's it.
Right.
Apart from that, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Good stuff. And on that note, I have to call it a day. I've got to go and drink some more tea, and I'll leave you to it. And let you carry on with whatever you're doing.
Putting my feet up for once.
Feet up. Oh, well,
yeah.
why not?
I'm having an early finish today.
And why not? It's Saturday after all. Yeah. Right. Okay. So thanks for that. Thanks for watching, and cheers.
Cheers.